Hi guys, Tracy here with One Blessed Step, and today I'm going to share with you some really kind of difficult news for us. I am just getting over all of the things, so I'll just kind of come out the gate and share with you what's going on, what we're doing, and maybe hopefully help you see the bright side of things when things get really difficult in your life. So if you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, guys, so as you can see, I'm not in my RV anymore, and this has been a journey. It's been a rapid journey, and it's been a journey that has been full of emotions, of frustrations, of disappointment, of many, many, many tears and sadness. And I haven't been able to get on here because sometimes it's hard to talk about things that are going hard in your life and turn on the camera. So it's been a minute and I've had a chance to digest it, and I think I can actually talk about it without totally crying about it. So it's all good. But at the end of last year, I started talking to my husband and I was like, things are not going well. And there were some other things that were going on that I will be writing about and talking about in the future. But one of the things I talked to him about was like we had over the last few years changed our lifestyle to optimize his work at home situation, which was amazing. He had worked so many years and had finally found a remote job. And when he first actually got the remote job, it was kind of unexpected. It was something that we never thought he was ever going to be able to do. And he excelled at it. You know, he was really great at it. And he does amazing work. He received multiple performance awards. He has gotten promoted. You know, for those of you guys that have been around and you know my husband, he is a hard worker and he does such an amazing job. And so to be able to move into a position after all the years of hard work and his previous, unemployment and total loss of job during the Great Recession it was amazing. So as we had pondered him having this new job, one of my oldest child was like, I'm going to move out. And I was like, okay, go ahead. Like, do your thing because you're an adult. Do your thing. And as I started thinking about it and as he started looking for apartments, it was just not feasible for him to move out. He wanted to, but it was just not feasible for him to move out because apartments were so expensive and he's still going to school. He's studying to be a nurse. And he has also had quite a bit of hardship as well, bless his heart. Both my kids have been going through quite a bit. Nonetheless, as I was looking with him for apartments as well, it was just too expensive. Like apartments were, at the time, for like a 1-bedroom, he was looking at about $2,000. I think they've come down in price, but it was pretty expensive unless you wanted to live in like not the greatest of places. And him going to school and also working, it was very difficult for him to make the numbers work. And so I thought about it and I talked to Lonnie and I said, what if we move out and let him rent here, just cost share with us. And we still have another kid that's living here, another son. And since he needs a place to stay, we'll just cost share with our oldest son. And so he can just pay rent essentially. In tax code, it's called cost sharing if it's a family member and they're sharing the cost, just so you know, in case you ever decide to do something like this. So we moved out of the master bedroom, gave him the master bedroom since he was now paying rent. And we moved into his bedroom because we had decided that we were going to take advantage of the flexibility and the ability to be mobile. So we did. And it was an amazing 2 years of, learning how to live off grid, looking at different properties, working from the van, doing our van life, buying an RV, putting it on property, and living there. And so we had finally found a place that we wanted to kind of, settle in. and actually be closer to family members. You know, as our parents get older, we want to be around them in case they need us for anything. And so Lonnie's parents were moving there. My parents were already there. And we were like, this is great. We can be close to our parents if they need us. We can do anything, you know. Plus, we really loved the location. It had a beautiful view. It was really peaceful and quiet. I had started making friends, and we had put in a request to transfer. So we had asked to transfer. And at the time, it seemed like things were going to go well. We were going to be able to get that transfer. So, big news. We put money down on a tiny house. So we are currently in the process of building that tiny house with a builder. And so we were so excited that we were going to have our tiny house. We were going to live on our own land, and everything was going to be great. And one day when the kids were done with school, they would move out and we would sell the property here in the city. That was our plan. And at the end of last year, things started, you know, I call it, some people call it intuition. I call it Holy Spirit. And I was like, it's not going to work out for us. And I hate to be such a pessimist. You know, I'm naturally a risk mitigator. So I naturally try to think about things and try to figure them out before they happen. And so I had a conversation with Lonnie at the time, and Lonnie's my husband. And I was like, I don't know about this situation. I think you're going to have to go back to work. I've seen the change in administration. I know who Elon Musk is. I know who, it goes Vivek Ramaswamy. I can never say his name right, but I've listened to their talks, and I know that they're not friendly to telework, and the new administration is going to put them in charge. So I think things are going to change for us. But that is when we talked, you know, and we decided to move and change our station so that we could live in Tucson. Unfortunately, things just over the last few months have been going really rapid, like super fast. And we were advised that the move just wasn't going to be possible for us. And that in order to really keep his job, we needed to move back to the city within days. It wasn't like we had months to plan. It was like, you know, get up there. And I'm really, first of all, very glad that we didn't sell this house, because we had considered it and like letting the kids rent an apartment and helping them out somewhere with that. But we were just like, it's so expensive, and our mortgage on our city home is cheaper than an apartment, so you might as well just keep the mortgage. All to say, we found out just a few weeks ago that we had to basically report to the city within, I think it was for us, it was within a couple days. Now, only because a couple days, because we had plans to be out of town for a week. So we really had to report in like a week and a half back to the city. And that meant we had to pack up everything and leave. So we have spent the last few weekends, you know, obviously Lonnie has reported to the city. He's reported back to office. He is now no longer teleworking. That has been a really huge blow and very disappointing. And it's really lonely now. I'll be honest with you. It's really lonely. Having your husband, I remember when he first, you know, telework because of the COVID situation, I was like, y'all are in my hair. And then over the last, it's been about 5 years, I've just grown to really enjoy his company. You know, not that I didn't enjoy his company, but like enjoy his company 24/7, which, you know, was difficult for me at first, because I mean, I love him, but like I need my space. And so now it's just gotten really, really lonely. So he's there. He works now in the office, and nobody's around, which is fine. You know, the kids come in and out because they're still going to school. But it's been an adjustment, to be frank with you. So, yeah. So over the last couple of weeks, we've been really, really working hard to move back to the city. And now we have put up all of our telework property for sale. So we had a remote off-grid small cabin that is now for sale. And the RV is for sale. And we have moved back to the city, and we are making the best of a very interesting situation. I don't even know if the word interesting is okay to say. It's almost like it's like a bummer. Like, and I think that had I talked to you like as this was going on, I think I would have had a lot more tears. I think I would have been a lot more angry. Actually, no, I would have been a lot more angry because I've had just amazing support from my dad. And there have been times where I've been on the phone with him, and that has not been good. So I think that sometimes you look at, I look at myself in those moments, and it's totally normal. But sometimes you go, like, what just happened? Like, who was that person? You're not that person. So I'm glad I didn't get on the camera, because I would not have been proud of some of the things that were coming out of my mouth. Let's be honest. So, yeah, that's where we are. And I wanted to share that with you because you're going to notice like the backgrounds are changing. Things are going to be different. I have a couple videos that I'm probably going to still post from recording. I just haven't had a chance to edit those. And so those might be in the RV, but no, we have moved from the property and are now back in the city. So, what are we doing? It's like, what do you do when stuff like this happens? We thought about canceling the tiny home. The builders were amazing. They were trying to figure out, and we had literally just put a down payment on it, but we were in contract. And they were considering like, what could they do so that we wouldn't lose all of our money? That was a lot of money. We were very thankful that we are working with a lender on this as well. So we didn't have to put down, I think the initial deposit was supposed to be like $60,000, which we would have lost tens of thousands of dollars. But with the lender, they had great terms. So we would have just lost like $10,000, which is a lot of money still. The builder was really trying to figure out what they could do. And Lonnie and I just started talking, and we were like, well, just because we're moving right now doesn't mean we're moving forever. And even if we can't have the dream today, God has a better plan. And so let's move forward with the plan that God has presented to us. And let's dance this way, even if it's not the music we want to have in the background. So we called the builder and just said, we're just going to move forward with it. And I don't know what we're going to do, but we're going to figure things out. That's what we're going to do. So all to say, the tiny house is still being built. And I'm super excited about it. It's amazing. If you're interested in seeing more about that or hearing more about that process, let me know. I'm happy to share videos with you. But yeah, we're going to turn this difficult challenge into an opportunity. And we are going to dance the most amazing dance in the grace of our Lord's hands. So why am I sharing this with you? Well, because I think that sometimes this is a drastic move in our lives. And sometimes pivots are drastic. So I want to share this with you because I think there's some things that might be helpful if you ever go through, if and when, because we all do, go through difficult situations in our life. So first of all, there's a lot of hardship that we're going through right now, obviously, with having to unwind a few years of amazing telework. And it was amazing. I'm not going to lie. It was amazing. And could we have stayed and could we have, said no? Absolutely. Like you always have a choice. Anytime you face a difficult circumstance, you pray about it, and we have prayed about it, and you have a choice. And the choice is we could lose. Lonnie could quit his job. Absolutely. There was an amazing package that they had offered for people to leave. The fact of the matter is Lonnie loves his job. He loves his team. He's good at what he does. And a little, I was going to say a little inconvenience, but a big inconvenience isn't something something we can't overcome. So if he loves his job and he loves what he does and he loves the team that he works with, it's just the location, then we'll figure that out one day. It's not like the end of the world. It seems like the end of the world at the time, but when you take a step back a few weeks later, you go, it's not really the end of the world. We'll figure things out. We've always figured things out, and the Lord has always known better and has always provided better than what we ever thought. So, obviously there's a lot of financial strain that's going on right now, but we'll figure those out too. And if you want me to document that and share that with you, I'm happy to share with you how we overcome with these things, if it will help you. Because I love to share things on my channel that encourage people, encourage you to look at things and go, wow, things are difficult, and how do I get out of that? And I hope that if you ever face a challenge, that you're able to come back and go, oh, here's some ideas that might be helpful. So yes, a lot of lifestyle changes, a lot of hardship financially, a lot of, he's got more telecommute, obviously he's got a commute time. And then there's this whole loneliness on my side of things. Like, what just happened? Like, things are not the same. And even though we're making this move, it doesn't guarantee employment. Like, he could still lose his job. And, there's a lot of uncertainties in this world. And you can do the best job you can to plan for them. And obviously I'm taking steps right now, and we'll share some of those as well with you. But it is still, it still doesn't guarantee that he gets to keep his job just because he came back. There could be things like a reduction in force. You're seeing a lot of things on the news. If you watch the news, a lot of employees are having difficulty. Many, many, many telework employees have across the world. Not even just in the government, but in the private sector, they're losing their telework as well. So there's just a lot of things that are going on, and there's a lot of people being let go, and it's difficult for everyone. So there's some things that I'm going to be putting in place. I'll definitely share with you to help kind of prepare for a potential layoff or reduction in force, whatever you want to call. And we'll see how things go from there. But happy to share that with you, because I think it's always important to prepare anyways. So how do you get through, with sanity on the other side of such a drastic blow to your plans? So, and by the way, this happens more often than not to my life. And I wonder if it happens to everybody, because I feel like I talk to people and they're like, yeah, this is not what I planned, and now it's turning. It just feels like it's part of life. And so you just have to learn to dance. You have to learn to change and pivot and, twirl around when you need to, when things are difficult. So I think the first thing you should do whenever you're facing a difficult situation like this is allow yourself time to feel disappointed. Allow yourself time to cry, to grieve the loss, whatever that loss is. For us, it was, loss in flexibility, loss in time together, loss in, location. All of these things are losses that are worthy of taking a moment to grieve and to take the time and just be away. And so Lonnie and I did take some time to be away from everybody, just us two. And while I would have loved it to be like the most amazing week off, it still was filled with some strain, obviously, as we're thinking things through, obviously, as things are coming in through the news media and all that. So, but it was great to take some time off, allow ourselves to feel disappointed, allow ourselves to grieve, and have that time. But make it, if you can, make it a distinct time. You can grieve as long as you want to grieve, but try to come up with something to bring yourself out of it. Because if you continue to spiral into negativity, it just continues this spiral. So for me, I gave myself 3 weeks to grieve. And on the third week, a friend of mine sent an amazing video to me, and it really helped to kind of go, yeah, to remind me that God's in control. And it's great to have friends, by the way, that will kind of be like, God's got you. And by the way, I've had multiple friends say like, God's got you. It's all good. I'm praying for you, which is great. It's just sometimes you're in such a sad state that as much as everyone says things are going to be great, you still don't feel that way. You still don't feel that way. So give yourself some time to grieve. Make sure that you're not like going years and years and years grieving. Like for me, and again, make it personal to you, it's got to be within weeks. I have to be able to snap out of it within weeks, because if I don't, things will continue to spiral. I will, go into a depression, and it will be difficult to come out of. Now, during this time, also, don't stop praying. Don't stop reading your Bible. Don't stop, praying and loving on the Lord, because even it's difficult, He knows what He's doing. He knows what He's doing. Excuse me. And at the end of the day, it's going to be for your benefit. It's going to be for His glory. So don't stop loving on Jesus. But set some time on the negativity. And for me, I set about a 3-week time frame on that. And if you need help, get help. And I know it's hard, but I've been getting help through I have insurance. So I have health insurance, and part of my health insurance covers teledoc appointments. Who knew? So I am meeting with counselors just to kind of talk through just issues, but a lot of women's issues. So just get help wherever you can. It can be family, it can be friends. And I've surrounded myself with family and friends. And now I'm going to surround myself with a wonderful nutritionist, a functional nutritionist. And now I'm going to surround myself with someone who I can talk to about women's issues as I start to as we start to get older, things happen. And I just want to talk to somebody about that. So it's good to talk to somebody. And if you have friends, you have family, those around you that support you, your church friends, and I have all of those support groups. They're just sometimes I want to talk about specific things with not that support group. So there is help available. Make sure that you check that out if you can. All right. So number 2, once you have grieved that difficult time, start to shift your perspective. Instead of feeling like, why is this always happening to me? You can ask yourself, what can I learn from this? What is something I can do to make this even a better situation? What are next steps? What are some maybe hidden opportunities you didn't think of? And then we need to think about some of the benefits of moving back to the city. One of the biggest benefits I'll tell you right now is my kids need me right now. And I know they're adults, but your kids that are adults, they always need you. If you're an adult parent, you're listening to me and you have grown-up kids, they always need you. Even if they act like they don't need you, they need you. They need to feel loved. They need to know that you're still there for them. They need to know that you care about them. And even if your relationship is strained, I just think that our kids always need us. My kids have been very vocal about being happy that we're home. I never would have thought. I mean, if my parents would have let me have their house and then came back, I would have been disappointed. My kids are thrilled. So they come home from school, we talk, and we talk about work, we talk about how things are going. I help them if they need any help with their school, which they don't because they're smart. But I'm always like, if you have the flashcards, I'll do the flashcards with you. They don't need me. But they need me for other things. And we play games and we have a lot of fun. And I think they were just missing their mom and dad. So that is one of the best benefits. And then obviously when you're close to the city, there are a lot more things to do. Food is more convenient. Entertainment's more convenient. There's a lot of things that are just more convenient. So there are benefits, and it's good to kind of shift your perspective to see the benefits. All right, the next step is to take action on what you actually can control. So just start making a list of things that you actually can control and things that you can do, and then start small. Just progress on one of them and just take the next step. For example, if you think that your job is uncertain and you might lose your job, One of the small steps you can take is to update your resume. Another small step you can take is to reduce your expenses. And another thing, like one of the steps we're taking is we're selling some of our things that allowed us to be flexible and move. We're not selling the van, just to be clear. We're not selling the van yet, unless we have to. We still plan on doing a lot of fun road trips in the van with me and Lonnie. So I'm so excited about those in the future, but we have to wait. We're doing a lot. There's too much going on right now, but we will be going back in the van and we will be having an amazing time. So we're still keeping the van, but all the other stuff that we had in place for telework, that's all being sold. So take action on the things you can control. The next thing is to just find joy, as much joy as you can in the present moment. And if you don't, if you continue to spiral around, you'll miss the opportunities to see all the joy. And I miss the opportunities to welcome my kids home again from when they're in school. And I'll miss the opportunity to learn how to cook an amazing meal. I'm a baker, let's be clear. I can bake a wonderful, wonderful cake. I can make wonderful cookies. Cooking dinner is not my thing, but I'm embracing this as an opportunity to learn how to cook better. So if you want to see more of that, let me know. We're really trying to save money. And so I am being very, very, diligent about cooking and using what we already have. So that's been really good. So find the joy in the present moment. Look for the things that make you smile. Man, and sometimes it's really hard when you're really, really deep into it, but do your best. I know you can do it. One of the things that I have done recently to find joy in the moment is to find a line dancing group. You may know that I love line dancing. It's one of the ways that I exercise now. And I never realize I'm exercising while I'm doing it. So it's been an amazing thing. So I have found a senior line dancing group and they have accepted me. I'm not the age that they need, that they have claimed is required for the senior line dance club. I'm a little bit younger, not that much younger, but a little bit younger. And they have said, don't even tell us your age, just come join us. And so I joined them yesterday for the first time and just delight. They were so much better than me because they all know the moves. But I will learn the moves and I will get there and I will delight with my senior friends who are amazing and sweet and caring and kind. So that is what I did recently. That has been amazing. I also have continued my Planet Fitness membership. So I threw my back out. This is the thing. It's like when things go wrong, it just continues to pile on and things just get worse and worse and worse. So you gotta grab yourself, get out of it. So I did stop by Planet Fitness for the total body enhancement, which I love. It's a red light therapy with a vibration plate. And I just did that yesterday because I had thrown my back out and we could talk about that, but I won't. I threw my back out. Didn't think I was going to make it to line dancing class. All to say I was able to make it. And then I did the total body enhancement, which was really very nice. So find hobbies. Think about the opportunities that you have, even if it doesn't seem like they're there. Like when we realized that I wouldn't get to live in the tiny house that I literally just worked with the builder to get exactly perfect how I wanted it and how I was going to live in it. There are opportunities there, right? There are opportunities. So it could be a second house, it could be rental. You just don't know. And maybe the option is still open to move one day. I don't know, but that's not, the steps we're dancing right now. We're dancing steps in the city. So we'll figure it all out. And the next thing is to just make a new vision and move forward. So I am making a new vision of things that we're working on here in the city. Some of it's going to be fun. I can't wait to share it with you, but you're just going to have to wait because there has to be some fun and surprise. If you are interested in following that journey, don't forget to subscribe and like the video because it helps really other people see the video. So, things might happen the way we want them to happen in our life. It just might happen, in a different way. It's okay. It's important to stay open to change. Before we did this whole telework thing, I didn't like change. I was afraid of van life. The first time we did van life, I was terrified. I was like going to a campground without actually going to actually boondock without a reservation. I've never done that before. It was kind of scary, but one of the things that I like to do is challenge myself and with everything. And this is definitely going to be a challenge. So all to say, you guys, setbacks don't define you. It's how we handle them that matters. How do you handle unexpected changes in your life? Do you do the steps that I shared with you? There are amazing things that I know that are going to come out of this difficult situation. I know God has a better plan than what I was already planning. And so I'm excited to just kind of take the next step and just roll with it and just dance this amazing dance that he has us here to dance. So I hope that this encouraged you, and I hope that you have a very blessed day. Bye.